Hi Lago families, it's Mrs. Riley here with another super exciting video about the start of the school year. So hopefully you've already heard, but we will be back for 5 days a week in-person learning here at Lago. So there will be no more distance learning or hybrid model options. They will be available in the district, just not at Lago. So if your family was hoping to have a hybrid or a distance learning schedule, then you should reach out to your school counselor as soon as possible so we can have a conversation about what transferring would look like. Otherwise, all Lago scholars will be here on campus every day starting next week, and we are super excited to see everybody. So I'm going to go over some things that you probably are wanting to know, including the first day of school, the bell schedule, first four, mass expectations, and just is anything else going to be different. So friendly reminder, we put everything on the website as we are getting that information. So you'll see that current school year tab would be a good place. Just if you're like, oh, I have a question, I would check there. We will, like things like this video, any other updates that we have, we'll add there as we get them. So let's talk about the first day of school. It is next week on Tuesday, August 10th. I think there were some other dates floating around for a while, so hopefully everyone knows now that we are starting next week, August 10th on Tuesday. And we, as we know, every year, that first week of drop-off can be a little bit slower because we have new families, new 9th grade families learning our drop-off routine. So sometimes that first week it's a little bit slow. If you're a new family and you're like, wow, drop-off is taking forever, I want you to know it gets better. But I do recommend giving yourself some cushion because it is just a little bit slower that first week as people learn. And we will be starting an advisory, as we always do. Those rooms will be posted on campus. So when your scholar gets here, there will be a couple different places where they can check and see who their advisory teacher is and what room they're in. Upperclassmen should hopefully know who their advisory teacher is, but they might want to just double check the room number. And then we will be handing out schedules that first day of school. So nobody knows their schedule yet. And so if your scholar's a little bit nervous about, like, I don't know what my classes are, I don't know my schedule, that's normal. Nobody has it. We will be giving those out on the first day. So drop off and pick up. If you are a new family, I just want to quickly go over kind of how it works. You'll figure it out. Just kind of go with the flow, follow the car in front of you, but we'll walk through it really quickly right now. So my cursor is a little car. You're coming up Citricato, up that big hill. You're going to turn in to our campus, go past our big fields, and you're going to come in and you're going to go past those parking lots. And this third left is your first option. There's 2 different places you can park, or you can drop off. So if you choose, you can go into this first one. Oh, where'd my cursor go? There it is. You can go into this first parking lot and drop off right here. This is like the fitness center entrance. So you could drop off here. This is also where the buses drop off. And then after your scholar gets out of the car, you'll just come out the other side of the parking lot and up, and you can go back out the way you came in, or if you want, you can go this way and go down the hill. So that's option number 1. The second option is you could go right past that, keep coming, and you can go through the big loop. And then you would drop off right here by these gates, say goodbye to your scholar, and then you would keep driving, and again, you can come back, you can come back out the way you came in, or you can go down out the gate and down the hill. This gate is open during drop-off and pickup, but it's closed during the school day. Friendly reminder that those are the only 2 places to drop off your scholar, so please don't drop them off here. Definitely don't drop them off on Citricato. Please don't park in the neighborhoods. We will get complaints from the neighbors. So we ask that you drop off in those 2 places, and that's the drop-off routine. So we will be returning to the original bell schedule. Last year we had a different bell schedule because of COVID, but we're going back. So Mondays and Fridays, we call them long block days. They only have periods 1 through 4. The classes are just a little bit longer. Then on Wednesday, we have advisory in the middle of the day. So advisory is once a week. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we end the day with what is called X block. And that's the exploratory class. So, and that meets twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Once a month on a Monday, we'll do a late start. And on that day, your scholar's first class is at 11:10. We do have nutrition break before that class. We have other late start days throughout the year, which we will notify you of ahead of time, like back to school night is one of those days. And then definitely on those once a month Mondays. And then our finals schedule, this would be when right at the end of the semester. So in December, the last couple of days are a finals schedule, and in June, those last 2 days in June. All right, and then first four. So we every year start the school year with what we call first four, and it is the first 4 days of school. It's pretty self-explanatory. And what we do is we spend those days building culture. We talk about our pillars, we talk about our mission and our vision. It's when our underclassmen and our ninth graders, our new students, get to make connections, get to meet people, they get to hear about how things work, where things are. We do have special bell schedules on those days. Every day is a little bit different because some days they're in their advisories, some days they're in their cohorts, or a combination of the two. Our school counselors provide a lot of really good programming during that time. Our teachers are gonna run a lot of different activities, and then we end with something called Olympics, which is another opportunity for the scholars to work together and to make those connections. And this is a very important part of our Del Lago culture. It is why we have such a strong foundation, and we have strong relationships, and why kids are so successful here is because we put a lot of time and energy into building that culture. So it's really important your scholar is here on those first 4 days. And as I said earlier, we start first four in advisory. So we will make sure that your scholar, if they are new, but even our returning scholars, that they know who their advisory teacher is and what room they're in. And then there's a lot of us out in the quad at the start of the day to help them find that room. So if your scholar's feeling a little bit nervous, I don't know where to go, there'll be lots of people to help them. All right, let's talk about screening. So this year, if you are having symptoms or feeling unwell, you are going to stay home, just like last year. So if any symptoms, not feeling good, stay home. We will not be doing temperature checks at the entry. The scholars should be self-screening at home. So it's on here twice for a reason. So again, if you have symptoms or you're feeling unwell, please stay home. Masks. So masks will continue to be required at all times indoors. Both staff and scholars will be wearing masks whenever they are indoors. We will not be requiring masks outdoors. The Escondido District is working with the CDC guidelines and the SDCOE, the San Diego County Office of Education guidelines. And right now what they're saying is that outdoors it's safe to take masks off, but they are recommending that if you're unvaccinated, you continue to wear them. So not required, but recommended for those who aren't vaccinated. And obviously we're going to continue to encourage our scholars to wash their hands frequently, and we will continue to do regular cleaning throughout the buildings. Okay, if you are experiencing symptoms, we are going to encourage you to stay home. I've said this multiple times in this presentation for a reason. We really want to make sure that any scholars, any staff members, anyone here on campus that isn't feeling well doesn't come. If you are experiencing symptoms and you're staying home, you're going to then notify the school, and we're going to walk you through kind of what the next steps are. And we will work with you to determine when your scholar can safely attend school again. In regards to coming in contact with someone with COVID-19, those notification processes that were in place all last year will continue. So anyone who was a close contact will be communicated with, and then the notices will go out to the greater community as well. EUHSD does have a COVID-19 dashboard on their website. If you haven't seen it already, I would recommend you check that out. It has a lot of information, and we'll link it from our website as well. It has like the Return to Campus Guide, which will go into greater detail about like the mask requirements, the cleaning requirements, notification processes, like that decision tree about when a scholar can be on campus. So all those details are there on the website, as well as information about how many cases, anything related to COVID-19, any information that you're seeking, I would recommend starting there. And then just a lot of things are going to continue. So we are going to jump back into our routines with tutorial, with Saturday school, quality work plans, the no mark timeline. So all those things that Del Lago has in place to make sure that your student is successful, those are going to continue this year just as they did last year. So scholars, it's time. Let's make a to-do list. So the first thing before school starts, I will log into my email. For those of you who have not been checking your email all summer, I strongly recommend you do it before school starts. There's going to be lots of emails from me, of course, about quality work plans, about whether or not you want to opt into honors, just generally helpful information, as well as your teachers might have sent you some things you want to read, or your school counselors over the summer. You are also going to pick out that first day of school outfit and the matching mask. And then on that first day of school, make sure you arrive early, give yourself some time, just because that drop-off traffic can be a little longer. And then you're going to check that advisory chart when you get here on campus to double check that the room number hasn't changed if you're an upperclassman, and then to find out who your advisory teacher is and what room they meet in if you are a new student. All right, guys, we are super excited to see you. I think it's going to be a great year. And as always, if you have questions, if you need anything, just reach out to us here at DeLago, and we are always happy to help. All right, thanks, guys.